Hello, welcome back to my channel, and I thought I would open the camera and start rambling. I'm in a transitional period and I feel like that is the best time to make videos because that's when you're the most honest about stuff. I am at a point, I'm at a crossroads, and I'm just feeling really weird about life. I know everybody feels like this at some point in their life. I almost feel like I'm being gaslit. Everybody's pretending like things are normal and I'm like, things are not normal. Why are we all pretending like we're doing good right now? And the thing is, I'm not even doing bad, so I feel like people probably don't want to hear somebody who's doing just fine complain about how bad things are. Because obviously there's people in worse situations than me. I'm never gonna sit here and cry on the internet and pretend to be a victim and paint out like my situation is so bad. I'm not in a very bad situation. In the grand scheme of the things that are going on, I am just fine. It's just my neuroses. But I do feel like things are bad. Things are really bad. We all know things are bad, but nobody's doing anything. Or the things that people are doing, it's like, why are you doing this? We need solutions. I've seen a lot of videos lately about LARPing. People are not LARPing, the normies are LARPing. They don't know what it's like. And I feel like comparing your problems to other people is never the solution to your problems. People are gonna have different problems. Even if you have two people who are both poor, I feel like you're still gonna have different problems. Obviously the problems are gonna be surrounded around poverty and there's gonna be similarities and there's gonna be crossover. But I feel like no matter what level of life you're at, you're gonna have problems and you're gonna have to solve these problems. I've been working now for 4 years, like properly working in a career that is considered good, whatever. And I thought when I got to this point, I would have less problems. Maybe I do have less problems. Maybe people will be like, girl, you don't even have problems. Everybody has problems. Otherwise, people who are wealthy would not top themselves. Everybody has problems. They're just on a different scale. They're a different variation. Everybody has problems. But I feel like 4 years ago, when I was literally making £900 a month, and literally it was just me and my friends in Portsmouth. We had just graduated uni, we were so hopeful, we were struggling, we were looking for jobs, we were trying to get our foot through the door, we were so poor. We had problems, but we still managed to make it work. We still managed to make something 4 years later. Now 4 years later, we're not all living in London, we're spread out. Some of my friends live in London, some don't, but we're all really doing it. But it's been hard, and it's still hard. I just feel like I had it in my mind that things were gonna progressively get better, but I feel like that's a lie that you get told by society. Things are always gonna get better, things are always gonna be good. No, that's not even possible. Things cannot continue to get better. You can't have continuous growth. That's not a thing. Things go up and things go down, like the stock market, like waves, like your emotions. You're not constantly happy. You have times of sadness, you have times of maybe you feel depressed. I'm not talking about clinical depression, I'm talking about the feeling. Maybe you feel depressed sometimes, maybe you feel angry sometimes, but none of these emotions are continuous. They come in waves, and unfortunately, we're in the trough. We're not in the peak, we're in the trough. We're in the trenches. We're in hell. I don't know. Everybody is always talking about the generations, like the boomers ruined this, Gen Z's this, millennials are this. This whole victim Olympics thing where it's like, our generation had it worse, our generation had it worse. I genuinely am starting to think, guys, the suffering never ended. There has never been, you know how I feel like we've been gaslit. This whole, oh, this is the most peaceful time. I'm not saying that there weren't times of peace. Obviously there's good times, there's stable times, there's bad times. But I just feel like in every generation there is bad times, and in every generation there's good times. And I think because this is a point in human history where there are so many generations alive living together. We've been through the bad times together, if you think about it. Obviously, I'm not old enough to have experienced any of the world wars. I'm not talking about that. But we've converged in a timeline where a lot of people have experienced a lot of traumatic things in a very short amount of time. If we were gonna do this whole Victim Olympics thing, I actually do think the millennials and Gen Z have had it psychologically worse. Psychologically, I think millennials and Gen Z have had it worse. Boomers at the bottom. The silent generation, apparently big traumatic events are what create distinctions between generations. Gen Z is a repeat of the silent generation, and the silent generation, they went through a lot of hardships. I think they're the ones who went through the Great Depression, and they were neglected, and so they became silent and they just worked. They didn't say much, they just did. That is Gen Z. People keep saying that we're weird and we're not social and we don't speak much. Oh yeah, we don't speak much. We've just been through a traumatic event, through pivotal peak times in our life, and people think that we're just gonna be normal. We'll never be normal. We'll never be okay again. Nobody in Gen Z is normal. No, we're not okay. I am doing okay in a generation of people who have been done so dirty. The millennials had the 2008 recession, and I feel like nothing's been okay since 2008. We never recovered. We just put a band-aid on all our problems and we were like, yeah, let's just get on with it. But I don't think anything's been okay since 2008. And now we're in 2026. I don't feel like we ever addressed all the issues from what happened over that 3-year period. I genuinely feel like humanity was abused, and now people are like, why are you not normal? I think people are traumatized. I know we make these jokes online, the memes are funny, haha, Gen Z stare, all this stuff. I genuinely think that you just can't lock someone in their house for their formative years, abuse them and terrorize them with hysteria and fear-mongering, making people think they're gonna die, making people think all this guilt tripping, all this stuff, propaganda, just genuine abuse of power. I don't feel like then you can turn around and be like, you're the problem, there's something wrong with you. Yes, there is something wrong with Gen Z. That's the whole sentence. Gen Alpha, they still have a chance, but it's a very slim chance, and the time is ticking to help them, to rehabilitate them, because for a lot of the latter half of Gen Z, I don't know if that can be fixed. The older Gen Zs, those of us who can read, those of us who are more articulate, those of us who can still critically think and make analysis, we're gonna be okay, I think. I feel like we're the amalgamation of everything they wanted. I remember when I was growing up, they were always like, Gen Z is gonna be so technological, Gen Z is gonna be so smart. And I feel like most of us have been let down, and we are not gonna fulfill any sort of potential. Whereas those of us who are doing well right now, we're like very unique. We're like the few people who are both emotionally well regulated and still have the ability to function in normal society, or what was once normal society. Society is not normal no more. But we also have the understanding of how to use technology. So for me, I'm very cautious with how I use AI. I use it very sparingly because I feel like I have an understanding that if you use it too much, it's going to become an addiction and you're going to become dependent on it, just like anything else. You have to stay sharp by using your skills, and you have to use your own mind to make decisions. AI is a great tool. It's a great tool, and I don't think it's going anywhere, guys. I don't think it's going anywhere. Think of it more like a calculator or a computer, except the calculator and computer probably didn't cause this much discourse. Maybe the computer, people were probably scared, Y2K, all that stuff. People thought the computer would probably get rid of certain industries, and it probably did, but it did create new industries as well. I don't know what jobs will come out. Actually, I do. They're already coming out. Everything's an engineer now. I was talking to my friend. We went out for drinks yesterday, and he was like, they've just added engineer to my title, and I do stuff. And he was like, literally anyone could do this. So I'm like, so, okay, everybody's gonna be an AI engineer, I guess. That's what's gonna happen. Everybody's gonna be an AI engineer. And I don't know. I feel like you can never be certain of anything. Anybody who says they're certain of what's going to happen is a liar, and you should not trust them. Anybody who says they know everything, anybody who always has the answers, they are dangerous, and you should be aware of that. The smartest people I know are able to say, I don't know, because that is a valid answer. You don't have to know everything. You don't have to have the answers to everything. And I realized a lot of people who claim to know everything are the people who are malevolent. They're evil. It's okay to not know everything, and I think knowing that helps me feel better about the situation we're in. I feel like knowing that I know that nobody has the answers makes me feel better, because it's like we're all in this together. But at the same time, people want answers. Like, I want answers. I want to know. I want some stability. I feel like I've been able to create my own sense of stability in my own little life, in my own little bubble, but like every time I look at what's happening into the wider world, I'm like, ugh. I just feel sick to my stomach. I'm disturbed. That's how I would describe myself. I'm disturbed. And I don't think I can ever be undisturbed. Like, the things I've seen over the last few years, they just solidified a lot of beliefs I've had. And seeing is really believing. I feel like actions are people's most truest intentions. If you want to know where somebody's loyalties lie, or what their true intentions are, their actions are the most direct way of understanding that. Ignore everything that people say. Never listen to what people say is some of my best advice. And people will say, oh, you're skeptical. Oh, you're paranoid. No. I want to see people's actions, and I want to see their behavior, and I want to judge them on that. Their words are important, because when somebody's words align with their actions, that's great. Words are important because they show the juxtaposition between what people say and what they do. And when you pair that together, now you understand the individual you're dealing with. So I think people should keep that in mind and act accordingly. I don't know where this video is going. I don't even really know what it's about, but I hope you can get something from this that you can use in your life. I'm gonna go now. Bye.